I was thinking about that L situation with the goddesses, and I wonder if that's where Yahweh was born. I don't know. I'm being funny because people are like, they really have to get the book. I mean, if you really want to get into this, they have to. I can't brag about it enough because there's so much. I told you before we started this episode with 60 minutes, you're going to like require me to walk on water if we're going to actually get through this book. And I just don't think it's possible. So circumcision. And then what I want to do, because I'd love to have you come back and let's plan this in April, like we talked about. I'm going to ask my one more little thing. And then I really beg everyone to get this and email me. Tell me what you thought about the book. If you think it's crap, tell me why. I want to hear why, but I doubt, you're probably coming from a faith community if you think so. This is a really amazing. My last one is circumcision. Mm-hmm. I wanted to kind of probe this with you for a second before I just go to questions, because I was tempted to just run this episode out with you. And then since we don't have much time to get into questions, let's do this early here. Circumcision. The question is, God's penis was circumcised according to the Jews. Can you tell us the origins you think of circumcision and what it means? I mean, I know there's not like a definitive, but what are the origins of circumcision? Where does this come from? And
well, in terms of origins, we don't know. So we're talking about male circumcision here.
Right.
There's no hint of female circumcision in the Bible, nor is there much hint of female circumcision in other parts of the ancient world. I mean, you get a lot of really xenophobic traditions within Greek and Roman texts about, that sometimes female circumcision was practiced in some kind of exotic groups in Egypt, but we have no evidence for that. It seems to be something that happens, is unrelated, if you like, to male circumcision, to the Jewish practice of male circumcision. So male circumcision, we don't know the origins. It looks to be in those indigenous cultures or pre-industrial cultures that practice male circumcision. It's often, not always, but often associated as with puberty. So it's almost like a coming of age rite for boys as they become men. Some cultures do carry out male circumcision on infant males. Again, sometimes it seems to be a kind of, it's almost like marking their personhood. At what point do these infants become people in their own right, individuals with, are they understood as persons, social beings in their own right, as distinct from the bodies of their mothers or whatever? So in some contexts, circumcision can happen then too. I mean, but the way it seems to function in these ancient Israelite and Judahite traditions that gave rise to the Hebrew Bible is that it seems to be associated with fertility. So in other words, it makes the penis more productive. So for example, just as fruit trees in the book of Leviticus, I said, the Israelites were instructed in the Torah to circumcise their fruit trees after a certain number of years because it will give a bigger yield. It will give a bigger crop of fruit. So a similar idea seems to pertain to the circumcision of the penis, that it's almost like it opens the penis and makes it more fertile. So there looks to be a suggestion whereby what perhaps started off as a puberty rite or a coming of age rite in some way was sort of transferred on to much earlier stage of life. The other interesting thing about circumcision is that it seems to play a part in counteracting the dangerous impurity of postpartum blood. So when a woman in the Torah regulations, when a woman gives birth to a baby, she's unclean for a set number of days and then a set number of weeks after that. If she gives birth to a baby boy, her time being unclean is shorter than if she gives birth to a baby girl. So it's almost as if the circumcision of her baby boy after 7 days almost compensates in some way for the dirtiness. And I mean ritual dirtiness here. This is just about ritual impurity. It's not about hygiene. It's not about social impurity or moral impurity. It's just simply about, can she enter into sacred space? Can she participate in certain rituals? That's all it means. But it looks like male circumcision plays a big role in both fertility ideas, but also ideas about ritual purity.
I also wanted to ask you in that vein about